Hi again, welcome to my channel. Thank you for popping by and checking me out. I want to give thanks for everyone who's subscribed recently and also those who have been supporting me. It's much appreciated. Now, as I said before, I was on a Telecaster T-type style guitars journey to find that elusive one what got away from me. My holy grail is either 50s or 52 reissue. But in the meantime, because of the finance, I literally looked at alternatives. Just put things into perspective. I was up Guitar in Glasgow. Lovely shop, lovely people. Huge array of guitars there. And I kind of sort of literally sampled one of my, a couple of my dream guitars, a 50 style Telecaster with the 50s wiring on it, and also sort of both custom shops. They varied from just under 5,000 to 12,000 pounds. Absolutely mind-blowing figures, but as I was doing this sort of a Telecaster journey, T-type guitars, one which I've collected, I realised I've got 6. It puts a kind of different perspective on things when I'm looking at it, because I think, right, back in the day when I started out, guitars were rubbish unless you can get hold of a quality Japanese Tokai or things like that, or it's got a couple, but Fender Gibsons, it was out of the range. I mean, in fact, Fender wasn't allowed to import guitars to the UK when it first came out, so we was kind of limited for cheap inferior copies. Today, with technology and things have just kind of gone a quantum leap. The guitars are so much better. You're getting budget guitars. They're not really budget guitars, they're just superb. They are really on another level. I'm after basically sampling those sort of 5,000 and 12,000 pound guitars, I've come back home and I've kind of had that same sort of feeling in my mind and how it felt. And I'm playing these sort of they're second hand, most of them, but the dearest one is probably about what is it, the Squire 40th anniversary, new, were there about £400. Classic 5 is knocking on that door as well, but the rest is like and obviously the vintage reissue Jerry Donahue kind of series. That's probably about knocking on the door 500. But altogether, 6 guitars, they come up a fraction of the cost of a custom shop. You're talking about, on a good day, they're second hand now, because obviously new models have come out, like from Jet and other Faisleys and Fireflies. They're all exceptional guitars. I haven't kind of managed to review them, because obviously I'm limited. I can't buy every guitar in the world. I'm sort of limited in funds and stuff, what I can afford, and I have to trade whatever. But I'm just sort of going on what I've kind of seen or heard or reviewed, and what I've got. Based on that, you're talking about 6 guitars probably about under £1,500 for 6 guitars. If you compare it to custom shop, you're talking about, or even a sort of a Telecaster, a standard, you talk about £2,500. That's half the price. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to revisit all of them, because I'm going to 2 seconds, if I can just reverse the camera. Okay, so these are the guitars which I reviewed. Excuse my excuse the mess. Right, obviously the vintage reissue series, V58 Jerry Donahue. It's a superb guitar. What can I say? You know, maple neck, all the traditional things, maple neck. A maple, solid maple neck, all the body. You know, Wilkinson pickups, hardware, compensated bridge. You know, superbly made, superbly set up. It's got all sort of shielded inside, full-size pots all around, and switchgear. And then obviously my oldest guitar is another vintage reissue 52. It's based on the actual recipe from Leo Fender. Trevor Wilkin spoke to him, and he kind of got the recipe, what made this guitar so great, and he emulated it. And obviously take the guard off, use compensated brass saddles to improve it, the intonation. Then we come to the Harley Benton, you know, tribute series. You know what, you know, it's a TE53 Keith Richards tribute model with the humbucker. Now this is ash body, you know, bone nut, crazy, you know. Yes, it's got mini pots on it, but the taper on them is fantastic. Tesla pickups, humbuckers in the neck, single in the bridge. Superb guitar. Squire 40th anniversary. You know, this is the I think it's a B stock. I got this. You know, take this off a minute. The weak side with this is superbly made in Nyoto body, matte finish type of thing, aged hardware, done traditionally to celebrate 40 years. Squire. But I've done a sort of video on this, said like, you know, they're kind of, you know, the sort of a kind of flawed gem. The downside was the switchgear. So which I did. I literally kind of, it's bugging me because everyone, if you go on certain reviews, they talk about, yeah, as I said before, I changed the switchgear from this. I put full-size pots on it because people were saying that the pickups was muddy. There's long argument that the kind of body doesn't, you know, the tone woods don't make a difference, but I kind of differ on that because, you know, based on my experience and what I hear and what I feel, the woods and materials does make a huge difference. This is Nyoto, the body on that, compared to the classic Vive, totally different. That's supposed to be based on that model, but this is kind of pine, you know, the wood is totally different, you know, built on the 50s style, you know. The pickup's supposed to be the same, but it's not. It sounds totally different. It's got more clarity with it, you know. I left this had the proper switch gear in it, but the tone pots, potentiometers were small ones, but, you know, what I look for is the taper, you know. The taper on this classic Vibe was much better than the original one on this, which had full-size pots. This had mini pots, but they were better, the mini pots, you know. So, and obviously, last but not least, was what do you call it? Put on here so you can see it. The Harley Benton TE52 tribute model, vintage model, superb. You know, since I've had it, obviously I've kind of upgraded it. You know, if you can notice the switch here, I put CTS pot switchgear preloaded, but I switched it around. You know, because it's supposed to be up there, but I turned it around. And the fretboard's nice and dark because, you know, advice from the channel, they said try out this Monty. Superb. But look at the fretboard now, superb. You know, I'll be using that in the future. You know, so this is a superb guitar, very light, one of the lightest in the bunch. But it's got, you know, but it's one of my favourites. So what I intend to do now is to, you know, that's my amplifier, so you can see what I'm using. It's a PV Classic 30 PV Valve King 112, and my favourite is the Fender Blues Junior 15 watt valve amp. So you can see that's the settings I'll be using, you know, and the pedal board, quite a minimalistic pedal board I'll be using. I've got a kind of Klon Centaur handmade, hand-wired Klon copy. Essential on any board. It's a graphic equalizer, but it's just a cheap one. Behringer. Vibrato. Tremolo. So it's got vibrato and tremolo by Marshall. Echo head by Marshall. I love lovely pedals. They've kind of got that 50s vintage charm about them. And Digitech Screaming Blues. Superb pedal. That's what I'll be using, you know. And I'll be using Bandcamp, all my Bandcamp for jam tracks and things like that. And that's very cheap kind of sound card, you know, mic'd up on the speaker. And a lot of people said they couldn't hear me properly before, but I'm using a mic now, so hopefully that solved that problem. Okay. Now, what I should do now, I'm going to I'll be literally going through every single model, just to, you know, playing them. Not much talking, just sort of playing them, so you can be reminded what they sounded like, and you know, they range for the cheapest £113 to the dearest, which was about £300. You know, so you tell me which is your favourite, and you know, it's not necessarily. You tell me, you know, some people think, well, I'm not going to buy a custom shop or very expensive guitar, because there's no need, unless you're a collector or you're a professional, you know, there's no need. Okay, right, let's have a sec. Okay, right, I'm just going to go for a band track. I'm going to start with the Harley Benton T52. Just go through all the sort of various tones, you know. I use cut pedals when I feel like it. Okay, so that was the TE62. I really like this guitar, simply because the neck has got that vintage tint on it. The neck is it's really good. You know, the pickups are stock. I changed to CTS pots, and that made a world of a difference. And I swapped them around. But for somebody who's looking for a really T-type guitar, is on a budget, when you want something good, what can stack up against anything out there, I highly recommend this. They're about £139. I bought it second hand, 113. So if you get one second hand, grab it. You can obviously mod it to your specifications. So that's that one. Right, which one should I go on next? Right, I'm going to go with my the longest one I've ever had. It's probably about 5-6 years, might be longer. Bought it second hand from eBay. It's one of the original ones. You can tell the original ones. Vintage reissued V52. It's got the bigger headstock and very light. It's £7. The same sort of weight as that Harley Benton T62. This comes from American Alder body. The new ones are popular. One piece maple neck. It's a shallow C. I didn't upgrade it. The person who I bought it from, he said he upgraded with pots, better pots than one of those Russian filled capacitors. That's about it really. But you know, I wouldn't get rid of this guitar because it's the longest I've had, and I've gigged with it, and it's rock solid, you know, and it's well worn in, you know. Okay, let's try this one, how this sounds. yeah, you can see why I like it, because you know when something is, you've had it some time, you've had to get used to it, and it's played in, it's, you know, the frets are bedded in, it feels like an old worn slipper, an old comfortable dressing gown, something that you bond with. I love the guitar. It's one of those ones where it's, you know, it's no nonsense, it does the business, and it's reliable. Okay, if I never ever get a 52 reissued or a real one, you know, this will satisfy that itch, because it you know, after I've played dare I say the custom, this is a tough one, after I played that custom 50s up in Guitar, is this £4,000 or £10,000 better than this? No way, Jose, I'm sorry, but it isn't. You know, once you made a spiritual connection with the guitar, it becomes more than its parts and its, you know, components. You just know it's you, and this is me, you know. So if I have to get rid of all of them, I would just keep this. Yes, be tossed, you know. If I keep another one, it'd be the classic vibe, but I'm coming to that next. Okay, so that's the vintage V52 reissue. Okay, the next one. Right. Yeah, this is the classic vibe. You know, a lot's been reviewed and said about these guitars, and I agree with what they said. This is a really good guitar, pine wood. Not, you know, it's knocking on the door of £8. It's not a light guitar, but it feels substantial. It feels like a real Fender, actually. You know, I like this guitar. I love the vintage tinted neck on it. Certain things that I like about it. I love the, you know, the Clusen styles machine heads. This is my favourite types of lock-in tuners. Pop it in, wrap it round, done. You know, I love the sound, the clarity, everything about this guitar. You know, after played it more times, I don't think I'll ever upgrade it. I'm just leaving it as is, because it's got its own charm, its own, you know. The only thing I've upgraded, I'll come to that in a minute, is the 40th anniversary. Okay, let's hear this, you know, play it through various. as I said, lovely guitar. It's got that authentic telly tone on it. It's got the, you know, people looking for that 50s vibe, mojo. This has it in spades. And I said, like, you know, I was thinking of swapping out all. I thought, nah, it sounds all right. Yeah. Right, it's a posty. Yeah. So that's the classic vibe 50s inspired Telecaster by Squire. Good guitar. Recommend it 100%. Right. Let's try the other one. Right. Okay, sorry, this is going to be a bit of a long one, you know. I think this is one more to go after this, you know. Okay, this is the 40th anniversary Squire. Slightly different. It's got more of a matte finish on the fretboard. Same one beef maple. You know, it's slightly tinted, but it's not as glossy as the classic vibe. Superb neck on this. The neck is worth the price of the guitar, believe it or not. But as I said, the pickups were so woolly, the neck pickup, but it was just driving me mad because I was trying to turn it up, you know. I haven't got a screwdriver, just take my word for it. I can swap out the pots. You can tell the switchgear is normally faded, but I bought a complete switchgear pre-wired from eBay. It cost me 18 quid. Full-size pots and switches on it. Alpha, superb. You know, tape was better, and it somehow brought out the tonal qualities of the neck and the bridge, but better than before. So hey, let's have a feel, you know. So since the last time I've done this, I've upgraded it, you know, to full-size pots and switchgear on this 40th anniversary. Let's find out how she sounds. Yeah, so you can see the characteristics and the tone, if you can hear it, you know, probably here on earphones, it's totally different. And I've got a suspicion, it's something to do with this wood, Nyoto they call it. It's not the same. It's a total different, you can't be fooled with what you listen to, use your ears to judge yourself. It doesn't sound the same. They said this is supposed to be the same as a classic vibe, just been kind of spruced up. It's not. How can it be the same as a classic vibe, that's got pine wood? The switchgear was different. But having said that, the cost, try buying a quality Fender Telecaster neck, and you see what I'm talking about. So the neck is worth the price of this guitar. Yes, I paid, it was 400 and something when it first come out, 46 or whatever, but I got it for £299. Tonal second hand, B stock. It's all shielded inside. Lovely guitar. Well, I recommend it absolutely, because why not? Because as I said, I played, £5,000, £12,000 Telecasters. It wasn't thousands of pounds better than this. And the ones that I've just played, which is kind of mind blowing, shows you guys are spoilt. You guys are so lucky living in a time such as this. You're spoilt for choices. There's no such thing as a budget guitar. They're all bloody good guitars. It depends on what you can afford, Okay, last one, but not least. Okay. Right. Okay, I'll call this one Swish. I call it the Swiss Army knife for guitars. It's the Jerry Donahue tribute model. As I said, it's if you're a traditionalist, if you just wanted a T-style guitar. This is my my observation. If you wanted a T-style guitar, but you wanted just a bit more extra, and you haven't owned one, try getting one of these second hand. That's what I say. You talk about complete one piece maple Cluson style machine heads. New bone nut. Okay. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way selector switch, every tone under the planet, from Gibson, Fender, Out of Phase, Peter Green, you name it. Jerry Donahue wanted a guitar you could just take to a concert without getting 2 or 3 of guitars on stage. He wanted one guitar. This challenge was set out by Trevor Wilson, to his specification. He bought it on the way to a concert, didn't even test it out, said, here you are, and he couldn't believe it. He said it was better than, the more expensive version of this he had. He said this is the better one, this was the cheapest, but it was a better one. They're probably knocking the door about £500. I bought second hand. I paid 220 quid for it. Couldn't believe it. It's mint condition. So these are, want all the body, maple neck, and all the effects going. Just want to bring one guitar. I'll try to demonstrate it to you. Okay, here we go. So that is that. So you've seen all the guitars in all their glory. Put them through their paces. What do I take away from all this? We're living at a privileged time. The fact that we've got access to guitars, what will more than fuel your passion, engulf your very soul. You don't have to. You can say, okay, this is what I want to spend. What's out there? You know, you think about it. You asked years ago, you know, only musicians, top stars, used to have more than one guitar. But now you've got people who have a passion for guitars, have more than sometimes 20, 30, 40 guitars because they're so much attainable. You know, people don't understand the mentality of a musician, a guitarist or a musician. They think, why are you spending so much money? Why have you got more than one guitar? How many guitars do you need? But the way I look at it is that a tennis player, when he goes out to play Wimbledon, he doesn't come out of one tennis racket. You know, people collect, you know, I remember collectors collecting football cards, you know, you get little cards, Pokemon cards, dolls, antiques. You know, guitarists, our passion is guitars, we collect guitars. It has that, you know, we've got a spiritual connection to it. It's our therapy, you know. But now we don't have to spend a lot of money fulfilling that need. You know, I've yet to try out a Jet, Paisley, all those type of guitars. Guitars, we've got so many out there, and I've heard so many good reports. but I can just demonstrate the ones what I've got. Out of all this lot, what is my favourite? I thought I knew, but they're all different. They all got their unique characteristics. But if I had to whittle it down to 3 guitars, definitely the vintage V58, the vintage V52. Do you know what? Silly me. I didn't do the Harley Benton, did I? Keith Richard one. Sorry about that. Okay. Probably all screaming at the phone saying, "You haven't done the Harley Benton TE53." Sorry about that. Let me quickly do that for you. Okay, forgot all about that. this was obviously I bought this from obviously Tolman Harley Benton, Keith Richard tribute model. It's it was easy to gel with. As I said, well, you know, my favourite guitars are Gibsons. You know, I'm not about no bones about it. You know, I love Gibsons. But also I love Fenders and I love like Telecasters. But if you're a Gibson only player, you find this easy to transition to because it's got that feel. It's you know, it's £9. Number one, it's not for the faint-hearted, but this to me is not heavy. It's £9. You know, but some people it's a problem. If this is too heavy, try the T52, 62, £7, £2 lighter. But I like this because the humbuck in the neck, very good pickups, the potentiometers, everything about it. It's not full-size pots or anything up, but the quality is very good. I have no ideas of changing anything about it. The pickups are fine. You know, I adjusted it. First of all, I thought, ooh, but obviously I adjusted it to how I wanted it to be. It's got, you know, 6 individual saddles, so you can intonate it. Since I've had it, it doesn't get out of tune. It's rock solid. So as I said, what's my conclusion? I'm more confused now because, you know, I always wanted a 50s, you know, 50s Telecaster. And I thought, why do I need to spend that money? No, I don't really. You know, I've got my dream guitar, my Gibson Les Paul Classic. I've got my Les Paul Special P90s and another one, a tribute, or was it another tribute, 60s tribute, burst buck pickups on it, you know, eBay jobby, you know. I've got these guitars really, it's just it's for the channel's sake really to you know, show what's possible, what's out there. You don't have to spend a lot of money. It's just getting something, you know, you can go out and get something similar to I've got, and if you think, oh Lem, I don't like it, it's rubbish, I can't gel with it, you know, but it's something, anything that's got the human element attached to it, you know, input, it's something that could be a Monday job or Friday job, if you know what I mean. When I was, years ago when I was working in the factory, we used to come in Monday morning, oh God, that Monday morning feeling, we wasn't motivated to work at all. So QCs was down and, you know, we needed a bit of a cheer up by the, you know, the foreman and all that kind of stuff. Friday, we couldn't wait to get out. So we used to do our work very quickly. So the work was better on a Friday than a Monday. So, you know, you've got that element, anything to do with human elements attached to it, expect some inconsistencies. But overall, I enjoyed this journey and it kind of really kind of put things into perspective. I can't really say which is a favourite. They're all good. They're all different. They all bring something unique to the table as far as I'm concerned. I hope I kind of portrayed that out by, you know, playing them to you individually and now as a group. Anyway, that was the end. That's the end of the conclusion of that. You know, type in the comments which is your favourite. What's your thoughts about this type of guitars? And, you know, what's your favourite? You know, what's your thoughts? I'll be interested to find out about what you think. It's not about what I think, it's what you think really. If this bought, if you think that I've brought that added value, a different perspective, but you think, okay, I can learn something from that. I can gain something from that. You know, yeah, you might consider kind of supporting me. You know, I appreciate it. Okay, thanks very much indeed. And I don't know what I'm going to do next. It's probably something on the lines of let me change up a bit with tones. You know, how I shape my tones, my amps, what I do on a layman's level. You can sort of see what I do, you know, and add it to what you know. Anyway, thanks for now. I'll say ta-ra for now, but have a great day. That's the most important thing. All the best. Bye for now.